Greetings, everyone, and welcome to my presentation. My name is Amir Baligh, student number 200422973. And today I'll be talking to you about VSS Unity. You might wonder, what is VSS Unity? VSS Unity stands for Virgin Spaceship Unity, previously referred to as VSS Voyager. It is owned by Richard Branson's group Virgin Galactic. It is classified as a Spaceship Two class suborbital rocket-powered crewed space plane. Long name. The first manufacture year was 2012, while the planned launch date was on the 13th of December 2018. The highest altitude VSS Unity could reach is about 86 kilometers above sea level. Spaceship Two can have 8 people on board, including 2 pilots. So how did it start? Branson founded Virgin Galactic in 2004 to build on the success of Spaceship One, which was a reusable 3-person suborbital space plane built by the company Scaled Composites to win the $10 million Ansari X Prize for private space flight. Just before the spacecraft won the X Prize that year, Virgin Galactic's Richard Branson announced that he would work with Scaled Composites to manufacture a commercial version of the craft that would take tourists to suborbital space. Development then began on Spaceship Two. Tickets for a seat on the commercial spacecraft initially cost $200,000 each. The price later rose to $250,000. 2 years later, he told CNN that he expected the company to start carrying ordinary people to and from suborbital space in 2008. The target date kept getting pushed back. However, as Virgin Galactic dealt with various issues, including 2 fatal accidents, the first tragedy was a test stand explosion at California's Mojave Air and Spaceport in July 2007, which sadly killed 3 employees of Scaled Composites, the aerospace company that designed the 2-pilot, 6-passenger Spaceship Two. The second occurred on October 31st, 2014, during a rocket-powered test flight of the first Spaceship Two vehicle, which was called VSS Enterprise. Enterprise broke apart in the skies above Mojave, killing co-pilot Michael Alsbury and seriously injuring pilot Peter Seibold. So why was SS2 built? SS2 standing for Spaceship Two. Spaceship Two is a spacecraft designed to take paying space tourists on brief trips to suborbital space. It also provides the scientific research community to access to space for affordable and repeatable high-quality microgravity, as well as to inaccessible regions of the upper atmosphere. Virgin Galactic is hoping to make space travel as cheap and accessible as possible for everyone with the help of Spaceship Two. So you might wonder, how does the process work? How does Spaceship Two launch and re-enter Earth's atmosphere? Spaceship Two launches from its mothership, White Knight 2, which carries it to an altitude of 15 kilometers after launch using a single hybrid rocket engine called Rocket Motor 2, which I'll discuss in the next slide. Spaceship Two reaches supersonic speed in about 8 seconds. It then boosts itself up for the next 70 seconds to reach the edge of the space to give the passengers a few minutes of weightlessness. Spaceship Two is designed to re-enter the atmosphere at any angle. It uses feathered re-entry system, achieving much more aerodynamic drag on re-entry. At an altitude of 15 kilometers, about twice the height of Mount Everest above sea level, the wings will rotate back to their original position and glide to a runway landing. I'll show you a footage of this process to make it easier to visualize the entire process. I'll have it on 1.75, so we have time for the rest of the presentation. Here's the drop. I'll skip through the feather reentry. Here we go. And at a specific altitude, the booms will return back to their original position, just like now. And then the gliding until it lands smoothly on a runway. Now we're going
Okay.
to move on to the design features. The first feature of today is Spaceship Two's motor, which is called Rocket Motor 2. Rocket Motor 2 is a hybrid engine design which uses hydroxyl terminated polybutadiene as fuel and nitrous oxide as oxidizer. A hybrid engine is an engine where the fuel and oxidizer exist in different states of matter. In Rocket Motor 2, the fuel is solid and the oxidizer is stored as liquid and consumed as a gas. Moving on to feathered reentry system, as was shown in the video. A spaceship two makes its descent, two tail booms at the back rotate up to form a feather configuration. This orientation creates high drag and stability, which slows down Spaceship 2 rapidly. Even though this will help the plane to re-enter Earth's atmosphere more smoothly, everyone on board will experience 6 times the force of gravity. That's why a lot of tests are held to give experience to the pilots so they can perform well um, on the actual experiments. Moving on to the last feature of the day, which is White Knight 2. White Knight 2 is the mothership of Spaceship Two. White Knight 2 is a twin fuselage aircraft with two jet engines on each wing that carry Spaceship Two to an altitude of about 50,000 feet. At that point, it will release Spaceship Two, which will then lift off into space. The wing spar of White Knight 2 is the longest single carbon composite aviation component ever manufactured, standing at 140 feet. White Knight 2 has a unique heavy lift, high altitude capability, and an open architecture driven design which provides maximum versatility in the weight, mass, and volume of its payload potential. The design aids operational efficiencies and turnaround times. White Knight 2 will be able to support up to 4 daily space flights, is able to carry out both day and nighttime operations, and is equipped with a package of highly advanced avionics. An exciting but uncertain future. It is possible, for example, that the market for suborbital space tourism will not be large enough to support the activities of Spaceship Two over the long haul. But it is also possible that their ticket prices will fall fast enough to keep the customers flooding in indefinitely, the future that the company predicts. The flights of Branson, in short, are a window into a future we cannot yet see. You may have strong opinions about that future, how the space tourism business and commercial space flight more generally will or should develop, and that is fine. But it is also fine to just sit by the window and wait with a cold drink in hand, happy that the drapes are pulled after all these years. The bibliography. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my presentation and see you soon.